So, just hanging out in the slide, y'all. Always with the stuff on your lips. Ugh. Stop looking at the screen.
Can I look at you?
Oh, yeah.
Hello. No, you're trying to look sultry. I was trying to look weird.
I am sultry.
More like sweaty.
Yeah, can you see that? Does this
no,
focus?
Don't. All right, everyone. Hi, I'm Jessie.
And I am Toby.
Welcome to A Deyo in the Life. We're the Deyos.
If you don't know that by now, you're new.
Yay!
And we love that.
Gotta love the noob.
Yeah.
We're noobs. We're noob to RV owning and renovating.
Yeah.
Just in case you didn't know. We've never done this before.
We use highly technical terms here like goop and...
Tool for thingy. And
we're gonna undrill this now.
It's hot. It's hot.
It is so hot. We got the AC cranked in here, hooked up to my old generator in the back there, but she's taking a few minutes to kick in, so
Yeah.
we're gonna sweat to the oldies for the beginning here.
Actually, you know what? Just stop.
Yeah.
Let's not touch each other for a minute, because.
Yeah. Can only take so much touching.
So, we have no children. We have some time to get something done. We did a little, as you'll see, we'll show you some of the water damage stuff that we were looking at. And Toby will be working on what?
We got a whole lot of nails where all these moldings and trims we took off.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta knock those in, put some filler on them, sand them down, get ready for some painting.
Yes.
I also want to go take another look on the roof of this slide for how to clean it up, because I bought some of this fancy RV tape called Eternabond. It's got a lot of good reviews.
That sounds like a superhero. Eternabond. Don't worry, Eternabond is here.
Well, it does super things like keep us dry. It's got a lot of mixed reviews, a lot of good ones. Some guys are like, don't use it, but we're not pros, and it looked like the easiest one to use. So that's what we're going with.
And if it doesn't, just put more silicone on.
True.
And I realized I didn't really explain why we removed a bunch of the molding. Is not just because of painting. I actually left molding up in areas that I know I'm painting those walls and I can just paint right over it. But in the areas that I'm going to be doing some wallpaper feature walls, I didn't know how, I didn't want to put the wallpaper over this weird little bump lip thing. And yeah, so it just was the easier thing to do. Then we of course found some gaps. I'll show you what some of there's some larger gaps between panels, which is why the RV manufacturer put molding over it. Anyway, we'll figure it out. It'll look fine in the end, and you know, it's just all learning experience. If any of you have done this in an RV and you know about how to fill these gaps in a really smart way, please tell us in the comments or message me or send me signals. So that's what we're doing. Wish us luck. Ready?
I'm done.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Deyo out. Deyo out.
Nailed it! Anyone ever told you you're really set in your ways?
Because it's a nail set?
Mm-hmm.
You say my jokes are dad, but you're...
That was pure gold.
But you're an actual dad who tells dad jokes. Just saying. Oh. This is the really large gap that I was actually mostly concerned about. Still figuring that out. But I'm going to be putting wallpaper on these two walls as well. So again, whatever my solution is, it doesn't have to look pretty. Just good enough to cover up. I seriously feel, I don't know, a spider web? Yeah, it's just me looking crazy. Okay.
Hello. I have a question for you RV people. Do you ever like look at your rig when you first got it and you're like, oh my goodness, that shower is so big. That bathroom's so awesome. Well, I did that, but then I got into the shower. And I would say I'm what you would call festively plump. This, it's a little small, I gotta say. It's probably the least favorite thing about this rig to me. But there's got to be one thing, right? So,
give us a demonstration.
Well, considering every time I'm going to turn around, I'm going to get caught on this lovely thing. So, it's going to change the water on me. So, that's lovely. I guess the one benefit is having this. It comes off. I don't have to move around that much. I can move the shower, not my body.
Alright, so we got a king-size bed a few years ago, and we love it. It's memory foam. It's amazing. Very comfortable. We love because the kids always end up crawling into the bed only 5 times. No, not 5 times a night. But it's really nice when you have children. And when it's hot and you don't want to touch each other, but you still love each other enough to sleep together. So this RV, obviously, the bed is a queen. We could sleep in a queen, but we really don't want to. So we actually checked our bed at home, we took off the cover, we realized we can actually just cut it because it's a memory foam special thing from IKEA that we got. So we're gonna cut the foam and make it fit. The only problem is the boards that are the, what do you call this, the bed base? Anyway, is the queen size. So I'm just taking off all the hardware because there's special hardware that makes the bed lift up for the storage underneath. Taking all that off so that we can measure some new chunks of plywood, and we can, when we do put our bed in, we can have it all ready to go.
On the back.
Is it off?
Booyah!
Here I am struggling with the screwdriver. Toby's like, oh, did you want the impact drill for that? Thanks, babe. Really helpful there. Super helpful.
So right here is some of the worst rot on the slide. This was kind of, well, it was together before, but this, when we ripped out the carpet, as soon as I touched it here, it all kind of did this. So now I was just peeling back the vinyl covering on this panel, and the good news is you can see where it's been wet. It actually just peels off of there. It looks like it's pretty much just stayed along the bottom. And the carpet was wet, so that's good because it's not coming further up the wall. That's all dry, clean right there, at least in this part. So the carpet got wet. Now over in the corner here, you won't be able to see it very well, but some of those nail heads are rusted. There's a tiny bit of mold right in the corner. So I think this has a lot to do with the sealant job on the exterior. So I'm just gonna cut away at some of this panel to expose what's going on back there. Do my best to not cut this out. It shouldn't be too bad. I feel like, and I'm just using a big sharp utility knife because this material is not very thick. So we got some water damage along the bottom here. Not sure where this discoloration in the very corner, but it's black and this is white. So not exactly sure about that. Not sure how far it goes up the corner either. So
you might be cutting out more than you thought.
Maybe. Smells like mold. Tastes like mold. Must be candy. So I think it's seen some water. I'm no expert, but this stuff is pretty strong. Like I've seen other RVs where you could just. So I think as long as we seal it up in here pretty good, seal it up outside. Maybe do something just to contain this part here. This is where that hole, I can actually see daylight out there where this electrical comes in and out. So, check all the seals on the windows, stuff like that. So, something interesting here, I got this corner piece out from here, and there's this white stuff, and that's actually corrosion. But the way they've done this electrical, and they got another wire right here that's for the light. I can tell that's the lights wire. This is for this outlet here. This is the 120, 240 stuff. They got a steel tube in here to protect it from when they're nailing this on, I'm assuming. And it has some corrosion, but I also know steel and aluminum together, I believe you can get like a bimetallic corrosion. So
yeah, with aluminum you have to be careful with corrosion, right? Like copper or anything like that.
Something like that. So I think that's what's going on down here. Now, I still think it had some moisture. They have this pipe here, and these nails are definitely either just flattened up against that pipe, or it didn't. Oh yeah, look. Yeah, it's just like ring. So it did its job. Looks like it protected those cables. But we got some nails here. I am definitely digging the aluminum construction because we had an old RV, like I said. And not only are you dealing with this being rotten, but all your framing too. So I think it's gonna help us save some time, energy, and money. So I'm just gonna cut that little last piece. I might just have to put some filler pieces in here and seal this up, spray it so it stays all contained.
Okay. Okay. What we got going on here?
Okay, so this corner, a little bit worse. But that's okay, we're still happy. We have some more rot over here, and I figured something out. These have a rigid type of insulation. It's like this hard white styrofoam here. It's not like an insulation you'd have in the walls of your house. So when you're pressing on it for water damage, checking it out, it's actually difficult because it doesn't have much give. Because normally on the older models you'd be able to push and you'd feel it kind of give, or it would just kind of push through. So I cut a little piece out down here and it cut really easily. So I cut a little bit more, and then when I had the little piece of wallpaper, It was just really easily, and it just went whoop. And I'm touching this, and it's actually still wet. And we've had a lot of really hot weather. I'm not sure if you can see the sweat dripping off my nose in here. And we got the AC cranked. But again, with the aluminum frame, it's kind of cool. Don't have to deal with the rotten wood of the frame. I started pushing on this side, and then it did actually, yeah, there we go. So we're gonna have some more issue here. See how it's just crumbling. Shouldn't really do that. Oh, and it smells a little funky.
Don't breathe it.
Jessie's yelling at me, don't breathe it in. You can see here from this other electrical, nice little water stain going down. So it was getting in the wall and traveling on the wire inside the wall and dripping out of the wall as this wire went into the dinette seat. See in a few. See if we find anything more.
I'm filming you.
Okay.
Babe,
Come here.
babe,
To the corner.
you're really sweaty. Here.
Man, so absorbent.
So that's the new sweat wipe?
Yeah.
A clean diaper.
I think it's gonna take off. I am actually known as Trendsetter. That's my IG, Trendsetter. Just kidding, it's not. Don't look for that. But it went from bad to worse. Who would have thought? Anyways, so yeah, it's not looking good. I don't think that they came out with dual color insulation here. And unfortunately our exterior feels like a sponge back in there. So lots of water on there still. I'm totally at a loss of what we do for the exterior stuff. But I'm gonna start pulling this out. I'm gonna take this trim off around the window to see if it actually lets me peek in behind the paneling here to see if I can tell if it goes to up here. The nails start getting rusty right here, but in between this one and this one here. So let's take a look, kids. So it's definitely looking like a corner thing, not a window thing. This is all still pretty solid up here.
All right, so we got some things done.
Yep.
We used the nail kit to
Nail set.
use the nail set to put the little nails in so that we can wallpaper and yeah, just again prepping the walls. It's just what we do in our lives. We just prep things. We're just preppers.
And we of course found worse water damage than we thought. I think that's a rule of water damage. It's always worse than you think. So now we have a little more research to do and figure out what to do because the exterior paneling was wet and spongy too, out past the insulation. So not 100% sure what that entails, but if any of you are pros, leave your pro comment down below. And if you're not a pro, we still really appreciate your comments.
Yeah.
Because on days like this, it's always good to have some encouragement. And we want to encourage you as well. But if we can handle it, so can you.
Totally. Yep. I'm excited because even though there's water damage and more than we thought, I'm just excited to turn it into a design feature.
The water damage?
Not the water damage, the covering up of the wall, like the replacing the panels. Maybe we can do like a little beadboard along the bottom, and I don't know, it'll just look cool, right? Kind of a farmhousey boho. It's called farm. I was gonna say farm hoe.
Okay. Whoa! I think we got a little too much sun.
What's boho farmhouse?
Farm bow?
Farm bow? Bow house?
Anyways.
Farm hoe. I'm calling it farm hoe.
Yeah. Trendsetter, like I said earlier. Trendsetters.
It'll be fun.
Yep.
All right. Have a great day, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Or no, you'll see us next time.
Yeah, we don't really see you.
We don't really see you. But feel free to connect. Deyo's out. We're just driving home and we're just talking about how this is going, and we're still excited, we're still happy, things are still going well. It's just that now we're getting into more than we thought, but it's not over our heads and it's not something that's unsolvable, right? Like,
so the only thing that it makes me think about is, now do I want to check all the slides? Because when I first looked at that slide, it didn't look too bad on the exterior, but the amount of water damage we found on the inside makes me question the other ones. I've been in older RVs and the water damage is really easy to see. It seems like on this one it's doing a good job of not showing its face. I don't know what to think yet.
here's my thing, is we're not gonna gut it. Like, we're not at that point where we think we need to gut it. The main slide seems to be the issue because we haven't found like rusty nails or any major issues anywhere else. So we are just, it's just a lot of the demo that never ends. I think that's how it goes with renovations though. It's like anything you renovate, it's just kind of like you start getting into it and there's always surprises, there's always things that you find, and I don't know, whatever, it's kind of exciting. It's gonna get finished, and that's what I'm looking forward to, is that we still have the goal in sight. It's still gonna happen. It's just, this is just some stuff we gotta figure out.
We got this.
We got this. Confidence. We're either really stupid and confident, or, you know what, we're just fairly laid back people, so que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Babe.
Que sera, sera. The good thing we got going for us is that I'm about twice as smart as I look. That's about the one thing I got going here. So we'll get her figured. We'll get her dried out.
Yeah.
We'll get her sealed up.
And he's a good kisser too.